Takeydia, welcome to the Lessons of a Lashpreneur Show. Finally, we've got you on here.
Hi.
All right, so why don't you start by telling everybody where you're located and the primary services that you offer?
I'm located in Miami, Florida, and I offer eyelash extensions and eyelash services with brows.
Love it, love it. All right, so Takeydia, when did you join the Lashpreneur Society? Do you remember?
I joined in, I believe it was 2020.
Yeah, I want to say I remember a conversation in October of 2020, so it was probably maybe right before that.
Right. I tried out your boot camp that you had in that July when I just opened my business.
Yes. Okay. So where was your business when you started, and why did you join the Lashpreneur Society? What was it that you thought I could use some help with this?
Well, at that moment, I just opened my suite in July, and I wanted to make sure that my business would take off well during the pandemic. So when I did the boot camp, I loved what I was doing in it, and I was like, this can offer me more. So I went for it.
Nice. Nice. So what was kind of the first aha or first win or first thing that you're like, okay, I'm starting to get traction in my business, or I'm starting to understand how to do this?
I would say my first win was taking my feelings out of my business and using a business mindset instead of thinking with my heart or personal. Because sometimes with business, it seems like things are attacking you, but it's not. So you
right, all that personal meaning. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that, because you've had several years of being exposed to that now. How do you operate business differently now than running it based off of feelings or emotions or being reactionary?
With structure, I feel like the clients respect you more and they don't question your rules. So if they are late for their appointment, they know they have to pay that full price for that whole hour versus thinking, oh, let me just get, $30 worth of lashes. No, 30 minutes worth of lashes. It doesn't work like that. You have to pay for the whole hour because you wasted my time. And they understand that and they do it without complaints.
That's amazing. I love that. All right, let's talk about what's been your favorite part of the Lashpreneur Society.
My favorite part is the feeling of family and knowing that I have somewhere to go to vent and not think that people view me a certain way. And just because you don't see other people going through something, that doesn't mean they're not. So I like to voice what I'm going through because there's others out there too that are going through the same things, but sometimes they're just too shy or don't want to voice it because of being judged. But it's very welcoming there and I love it.
Yeah, we focus heavily. I mean, just who I draw into that program, we are very mindset based, right? And we take responsibility for our own actions and what happens in our business. And so when you have a lot of that and you're kind of fed that a lot and you kind of see that's the culture of the community, it is a safer place for you to express and to talk about vulnerabilities, or I don't know what I'm doing, or this client said this. And it's not to, like, I think with the free Facebook groups and the forums that are out there, it's a lot of almost this mob mentality of like, screw clients and da-da-da-da. And we don't do that at all. We have zero bashing when it comes to other women clients, anything like that. It's really getting curious as to why your experience or your feelings are that way. And like you said, like getting support of other women who are trying to not go into victim mode or not trying to like default to blaming clients. Like, how did I create this situation so I don't do it again? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things. And the other is the coaching. I love the coaching.
Oh, I love it too. Yeah. So part of what's been cool with Takeydia is that based on our community, so we have a Facebook group that's just for our members. And when you're the most engaged member of the group for a month, then you actually win a one-on-one coaching session with me. So not only do we have our group coaching sessions, but Takeydia, I think over the years has had the most one-on-one sessions with me because she's so active in the community. And what we mean by active, and I think honestly, if I'm remembering, the reasons that you kept getting it was because you were commenting more than anybody else. It wasn't like you were posting questions and just like filling the feed with questions. You were actually like supporting other members and like giving them advice and sharing your strategies. And so to just, toot your horn a little bit, we get people like that who are just want to help others out.
I really do.
Yeah. And so talk to me about that and how you've shown up in this group to support others and what that has meant for you.
I just love helping people. So when I see somebody struggling with something, I just want to help. And if I can help in any way, just by saying, oh, you're doing a good job. Like, I really mean things from the heart when I'm telling people, like, you're doing a good job or congratulations. Like, it means something, because sometimes other people, like, I like to hear it, and I'm sure other people too. And I think we need to tell, as humans, we need to tell each other that more. Like, you're doing great. Keep it going, be more positive, and show more love.
Yeah. And it almost like helps to normalize the ups and downs that come with business. It's like, we celebrate wins that people don't normally consider wins. Like when you've enforced a policy, and even if you lost that client, we say that's a win because you were able to enforce a policy rather than typically like having your people pleaser tendencies come that actually works against your business.
Right.
So, it's kind of the culture of the community that's in there. Share with me what your, as far as the curriculum and the content inside of Kajabi, which is our training portal, what's been some of the trainings that you liked the most or that you remember the most that helped your business?
Oh my gosh, I feel like there's so many because I went through it all.
I think a couple times. I think I've seen your logins is like hundreds of times.
Yes, because it like to structure my business, like the website, for instance, because I had a website, it was not what it needed to be. And through the help of the society, I was able to get it to where I liked it and that it made more sense for my clients and for me, because it was one point when I had two different business names going on, causing a lot of confusion. So we got that out of the way. And my website looks so much better now. And that helped me the most, the website.
Yeah. So for context, the website training that we have is not like how to get started with a website. It is once you have a website, how to craft your website and have things on your website that your client, from a client's experience, is going to work more towards getting them to book the appointment. We teach on something called the marketing funnel, which is how your clients go from strangers to an actual paying client, and your website is at that bottom of the funnel. And that's the trainings that we have, is teaching you how to build out your marketing funnel, because the last step before somebody books an appointment should be on your website, where all the information about your business, aside from what's in your head, is on your website. And I love that. We hear that a lot, that like, it's just a different way of approaching a website, not from just getting a website up, but actual marketing strategy with a website. So talk to me about how it's been navigating your business over the last couple of years, because you started right mid-pandemic and then have had growth and consistent growth, and now you're moving into education. Talk to me about how your career growth has been over the past 3 years.
It's gone so great that I was like kind of scared of like how the business, I was positive about that it's going to do well, but I was also scared that it wasn't. But with the society, I was able to have that confidence that it would do good. So that helped guide me. And also my numbers doubled the first year. And even now, it's July, it's still slow, but my numbers compared to last year is more. So I'm super excited about that I'm always positive versus just even or negative.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? Your feelings are still telling you like it's slow, but when you compare to last year, you're like, oh, we're doing better. And sometimes you need that perspective where you're pulling yourself out of what my feelings are telling me, because sometimes your feelings lie, and just depending on the time of month, they can be all over the place. But when we get to the actual data, it's like, oh, well, we're actually doing better, or we've grown month to month, or we've grown year to year. So talk to me now about what is the plan for Takeydia over the next year? What is possible for you? Where's the growth? Where do you want to take your business from here?
The business just turned 3, so now I am ready to coach and teach, and next month it's it. I'm announcing this month, and everything's going to be ready to go, and students can enroll next month. So I'm super excited about that, and by next year, everything's going to be even better. And I've been kind of considering maybe hiring somebody, but we'll see.
It's really hard when Tara talks about hiring a lot and you're like, what?
I was like, I think I need to join the next group.
We can work about that. We can definitely talk about that in Society Accelerator. So talk to me, because I think this is something that most people don't put together until they're starting to grow beyond their solo business. Do you think that what you've learned in the Lashpreneur Society, how to grow a business, is actually helping you with building out an educator business, which is a completely separate business model, but really the structure is very similar? Is that not true?
Yes, the structure is so similar, even to the point where I know some other people that are doing businesses, and I can see the structure to help any business, any type of business. And I even recommend you to friends that do not lash. I'm like, just listen to the podcast, or because I'm not sure if they can join the group because they're not lash artists, but it's just so helpful.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so we get questions like this a lot because we have a lot of listeners who are also microbladers, wax artists, skincare. I would say hairstylists, not so much, because there's so much nuance to the hair services that I'm not super familiar with. I actually recommend Britt Steve for hairstylists. But that's the thing, is that what we're teaching are business principles, marketing, client management, really any beauty service-based business. You're going to learn a lot, especially if you listen to the podcast. If you can apply that to your business, even if you're not a lash artist, same would apply in the program. The only difference is the examples we tend to use when we're like giving an example of how to implement a strategy tend to be for lash artist services, but it applies to brows, skincare, waxing. Those are kind of our main aesthetic services that we can support people in. But to your point, when you're learning like the marketing funnel, which I mentioned earlier, that applies to when you're marketing any other service, like your education service, and like being able to create awareness for your education services or your trainings, being able to create relationship through social media, being able to drive people to a website so that they can go look at, the benefits of getting trained from you versus somebody else, and the price point, and how to contact you with questions and what they'll learn and the benefits. It's all the same. That's how businesses work, whether you're US based, Canada, Australia. We've had people from Saudi Arabia. We've had people from Europe. Business is the same across. There may be nuances in laws and accounting practices, but more or less business is business. And that's what we teach in there. We just give examples for beauty services and lash artists. I love that. I love that. Well, if somebody was contemplating, like let's say, Takeydia from 3 years ago, who maybe she's just about to join the boot camp. If she was kind of on the fence of, do I need to get business coaching? Do I need to join a program like this? What could you say to her that would help her make a decision on whether it was the right next step for them to join or not?
I would say join it, take that chance, because you're going to benefit from it somehow. And don't just join for a month. Like, put your foot in the water, get it really wet, and listen. You have to be open and listen to other people. And they're going to give you advice and still follow your heart, but they know it. You literally are looking at other artists doing things that are wrong. Like, you can even go into the group and search bad retention or whatever, and you can see what happened. You can use that to fix your issues if that's your issue. So it's so many different ways to use and utilize the group that you should just do it, give it at least 3 months, but do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is just because you join doesn't mean your business is going to grow. And I think
some don't work like that.
They have the expectation of like, cool, I joined. Why am I not fully booked? I'm like, well, you haven't even started the trainings. I'm confused as to what you're expecting. And it's not so much just even going through the trainings, because sometimes people watch all the trainings, but then they don't go implement. It's actually the implementation of it.
You have to.
Yes. Yes. And we have a lot of implementation trainings, and that's why we have the coaching calls and the Facebook group for either daily coaching if you need it, if you have a question right away, or you want to go more in depth and you want to jump on one of our live coaching calls. That's where we go in depth to help you implement. I've been doing this for 7, almost 8 years now. There is not a issue somebody has come across in their business that I don't have an answer or a training or a resource or know where to point you in the right direction. So at this point, it's like, there's nothing that I think anybody could ask. That's why we have it as a group program, that I'm not like, yeah, this is how you solve for that. Here's how we can go get you to implement and get that problem solved for. I love that advice. That's great advice. Awesome. Well, I am so honored and so thankful that you came onto this podcast to share your story, share your journey, celebrate your success. She was a little nervous coming on. She's like, I'm so nervous, but I'm like, we're celebrating you, because girl, you have come so far. And I think maybe what I might do, just as a fun thing for you, I might go back and find your first one-on-one with me that you had years and years and years ago. And you can kind of celebrate just how far you've come to, because that's a really cool comparison of where you used to be to where you are now. Okay, I'll see if I can go find that. All right. Thanks so much for jumping on, Takeydia. I appreciate you so much. And we hope to see you guys inside the Lashpreneur Society with Takeydia. Have a good one.
Yes, bye.